is your July forecast, and I want to start out by talking about something that's kind of going around the internet, but personally, I never get caught up in what's going on in the internet, except for that this actually happened to me, and it made some sense out of some of the energy that I was experiencing, so that I know that if it's happened to me, it could possibly be happening to you guys. So I just want to talk about it with you really quick before we start on your monthly. And that is, and I think that this is especially imperative for you as a Taurus. I think that there are energies right now that are being tweaked. And I think you are one of them. And I think that light workers, empaths, people who are very sensitive to energy, psychics, people that are just diving into the metaphysical realm are experiencing an awakening right now. And it's the beginning of ascension. And I want to talk about ascension with you guys a little bit and how the side effects can feel in your life, because you're incredibly sensitive to your environment. You're incredibly sensitive to what impacts the earth and how things on earth respond to energy. And so I think for you, I think you guys have been feeling this anxiety. You've been feeling not right. You've been maybe a little more tired than normal. You may have, I know you go through your episodes where you kind of just want to relax, and, people call it being lazy, but I think for you, it's just the way that you diffuse. It's the way you ground yourself and keep yourself grounded. However, I want to make you aware that this is probably something more than that. I think some of you may be experiencing some weird dreams. You may be, the only time that you may feel like yourself is when you're out in nature, touching nature, feeling the earth, feeling outside, putting your feet on the ground, smelling the air. I think you're almost wanting to be back to what element you really identify with. I think that that's how you're going to make sense out of all this energy, and I would really encourage you to do so. If you feel that you need naps, if you feel like you're tired, if you feel like you're feeling strange and you can't quite understand it, don't try to make sense of this energy right now. There is no making sense of it. I can't really understand it myself, and I think I do nothing but study this stuff. There is a huge ascension process taking place. I think for people who are extremely sensitive to energy, there is a awakening happening that I don't think the people that it's happening to can quite understand. The only thing that I can tell you is that I know it feels off. It feels like you're just more tired. I'm highly reactive to things. And okay, so Mars is in Cancer, so I understand that. But I think Mars being in Cancer is part of that awakening, is part of that bigger plan. I've seen strange things. I don't have, psychic abilities whatsoever. I tune into energy. I don't have the skills that some people do. I feel things, and things come to me in my dreams. Okay, I'll give you that. But I don't ever see things that, like psychic visions. I have been. And the only time that I feel okay is when I'm out in nature and I'm grounded with nature. And so I'm really turning to you, because if I'm having that calling and my energy, what I need to connect with is water, I am absolutely positive you are feeling this energy of needing to get away, needing to get out. So I encourage you at all possible times to get out there, feel this energy, embrace it, know that it's happening for a reason, that there's something higher going on that not everybody can fully understand, and just go with it. I want you to know that you are a fluid concept, and I want you to really understand what that means, meaning that you are as fluid as water right now. And there is tremendous amounts of water energy. You have we have Mars in water and in a water energy, and we have the sun in a water energy, and we have Mercury in a water energy. And so all of these energies are asking us to go and dig deep and go into our emotional realms. And for some of us, that can be quite draining. That can brew up a lot of stuff from our past, a lot of karmic issues that we have, a lot of things that we need to face about ourselves. And so if you feel that you need timeouts, you need to walk out into nature, you need to touch your element that you're connected to, really embrace that. I know it sounds all hippie and, like a bunch of silliness that, metaphysical people say, but I really want to tell you that it makes sense. Yesterday, I was having a really hard time with understanding this energy. It was kicking my ass. And so you know what I did? I went to my element, my water energy, and I was like immediately relieved from the burden of energy. I had a restoration point. I'm able to okay, keep this going. So I really want you to connect with the earth. Put your feet in the earth, smell it, take walks, go out there and just touch your element that you need, and it'll revitalize you a little bit. So let's start with the month because we have a lot to talk about. Venus, your ruler, is going to be going through it. And so we're going to talk a lot about Venus, especially with you. Yes, there's a lot of other energy to talk about. I go into all of them in my dailies. So if I'm spending too much time on Venus with you, you can see how those energies are affecting energy throughout the day in my day-to-days. So, we're going to have a full moon in a fellow earth sign of yours, which is Capricorn. Now, I think that this full moon is going to be good for you. I think because your ruling planet is going to feel so good that I think some of the other elements, the tough elements at play, you're probably not going to focus on. So let's talk about what's going on with Venus. Venus in Leo is going to be trining Uranus, and it's going to be sextiling Mercury in Gemini. This is going to bring some unexpected things that just come up in conversation, or come out of the blue, or come up through maybe you're learning about something and you find something that you really want to go do, you're passionate about, you want to just ignite in you. I do want to tell you that Mars right now is debilitated. When Mars is in Cancer, you have this masculine and feminine energy combining. And I think for you, being so sensitive to energy, I think that you're going to really want somebody in your life. You want to fall in love. You want a romantic endeavor to pan out. I think for a while there you were on your own and you were trying to figure out what you wanted. And I think that as this awakening is happening, this ascension process is happening, I think you're understanding that there are things at play where you need a partner. You need somebody to go through this with and talk to about all of this. And so you may have a really passionate and loving response to a very dominant energy, maybe a stronger energy in your life, maybe somebody that invokes stability in your life. I think you're going to be highly in tune with your planet, and so there's going to be a lot that goes on because, okay, so Venus is in Leo, and then it goes into Virgo, then it retrogrades in Virgo, then it goes back in and retrogrades in Leo. You can understand that your ruling planet is going to be a bit like being on a boat in some rough seas, and then you hit some calm seas, and then you hit some rough seas. And so that's why I think it's so important for you that when you feel like your energy is off, you're feeling tweaked, you're feeling like you're enduring, that you need to go out there, stick your feet in the dirt, like smell the dirt, plant something, grow something, tend to a garden, do something that gets your hands in your element. Smell that element. Really go out there, take pictures of it, really embrace your element of nature and the earth and what grows in the earth. I mean, I really think that's going to keep you together during this highly emotional time for you this month. On the 8th, I think it's going to be a beautiful day because your ruling planet is going to be trining the moon. And this is going to be in the sector that rules love and romance. It's creative endeavors. You may start thinking about the metaphysics on a higher level. You may start to want to research things out. You may want to think about taking a trip. This is a great time to plan a short distance trip. Just get away for the weekend. Get out there. Go camping. Go swim in the ocean. Go on a boat. Just go anywhere that gets you out into nature. If you combine water and you combined your earth element, I think you're going to feel that whatever goes on, whatever personally is going on in your life, it's going to keep you level. And so it's a great, great day to get lost. Get lost in fun and passion again. Make it strike a chord. Make it have something where you're stealing away with a romantic person. Does it have to be the love of your life? No. Believe me, you're going to be tweaked about the love in your life. You're going to be the relationships that you're going to be analyzing your relationships. So you're going to need that time to be getting away and getting you back. Then on the 13th, I think this is a day that I'm calling a balancing day, where I want you to just balance your energy. It's good and it's equally bad. And so you could either really connect to good energy, or you could really connect to bad energy and have a really rough day. I say, if you have good and bad, in the middle is where you always want to be anyway. I don't really want a friggin' fabulous day and then have a crappy day the next day and wish I was always having that fabulous day. And so I think that if you really start to look at it like that, then I think all in all, it's going to be an okay day. So Venus is going to be trining Uranus. And at the same time, it's going to be conjunct with Jupiter, which is also trining Uranus. So this could mean highly pleasurable experiences. It could mean a really wonderful connection with somebody. It could mean that a love interest comes out of the blue. Do I want you to really, like on a new love interest, do I want you to really go for it? No. This is not the month to just take a new interest and go with it. It would be a very bad month for you, because my bet is if you meet during a Venus retrograde, it's going to be a karmic relationship. It's just going to be somebody that's going to show you all the problems you have with you. And you don't want one of those right now. The Sun and Mars, both in Cancer, are going to be squaring off with this energy as well. So again, I told you this can either be a day where something happens and you have a conversation with somebody, or maybe a child, maybe somebody that's close to you in your life, maybe a sibling or somebody that just sets you off and makes you have a really crappy day. And it could be quite unexpected. Or it can be a completely fabulous day full of love and romance and pleasure. I mean, it's just one of those days you pick energy you focus on. Energy does influence your choices, but inevitably how you respond to energy is always, always your choice. And I do go into the dailies about, okay, guys, here's the bad energy. Stay away from that one. Here's the good energy. Look to the light type energy. FYI, if you ever watch them. Okay, so then on the 15th, we're going to have a new moon in Cancer. And for you, this is going to be in short distance travel. It's going to be in communication. It's going to be in learning on a level of like verbal communication, written communication, learning on how to tweak those areas, your day-to-day responses to things and responses to people. That's what this is going to tweak for you. And so I want you to understand that your ruler is going to be still conjunct with Jupiter and trining Uranus. So this could mean unexpected conversations. It could mean unexpected conversations that lead to new beginnings in your life. In home and family, it could be somebody just professes their love an old love interest, somebody or you could profess your love to somebody that was a relationship that was in your past that's just been haunting you, and you just decide, I need this person in my life. I've been thinking about this person. This person will complete my home and family ideal picture that I have in my head. We all know that you guys love to idealize love to that degree. I do want to emphasize that both Mars and Mercury are going to be in the same degree, and they're going to be opposing Uranus. So equally, as I said before, this could mean that, something sets you off, hurts your feelings. You have this conversation with somebody, and it just took an unexpected twist, or they didn't respond to you in the way that you expected. Or they didn't respond to your overture, and you're just like, wait a minute, you were giving me all the signals of yes, green light, go, and then you're pulling back, and it could ignite a response in you that is not all that great. And the reason why I say this as well is because the sun and moon, both still sitting in Cancer, are going to be sitting on top of each other in the final degrees of Cancer, also opposing Uranus. So this could make you, it could just be something that's like, you know what, I have this ideal, I have this picture, I want this. I want to feel this way about that. So you have this conversation to get you to that level that you ideally see, and it may totally not go your way. It may totally be like, that was horrible, and you may have an unexpected ending. But understand, wherever endings are, there are always beginnings. So this energy, new moons are about moving forward. They're about making a plan without all the light being shown on everything. This is just like putting wishes out there, okay? When you hit the full moon, that is when the moon really dissects whether or not those are emotionally going to be to your benefit, and it puts spotlight on the dark shadows of those situations, which usually mean endings. But new moons are about beginnings, and it usually highlights, that area in your life where you're like, it's just like you feel like you have a genie in a bottle. For you, this is going to be in, do you want to go back to school? Do you want to go pursue a job in teaching? Do you want to go book that short distance travel? You may just, unexpectedly decide, you know what? I've been wanting to go to Hawaii. I'm going to go. Good thing of the ramifications. You're just going to book it and go and not really care. It could be that. And with Jupiter in here, and Venus in here, it could be highly pleasurable. It will be based on pleasure, which way this goes, whether it goes good or bad. Then on the 22nd, we have kind of a tough day, although I don't think for you that it's going to be entirely all that unpleasant for you. This is going to affect cardinal energies, but we kind of have a cardinal cross on this day. I think for you, you may just experience this as not being very motivated. You're kind of just feeling like you want to stay in. You feel like, the energy is, you're starting to feel your planet's energy going to shift into Virgo. You're going to pull back, I think, a little bit. You're starting to feel the energy in your planet direct you and make you more analytical, and you're pulling in. So anytime your planet, goes into a different position, you start to feel that a little bit in advance. I know that I feel the moon doing anything days in advance, because I can feel as it gets closer or further or whatever away from the Earth. So the 23rd, your ruling planet moves into Virgo. When this happens, your planet is in a debilitated state. It doesn't feel really wonderful here. It feels, when Venus is in its prime, when you are the most beautiful, you are an exuberant personality. You're passionate. You're loving. You are expressive with your emotions. You're in love with being in love. But when you have Venus, your ruling planet in Virgo, you're not in love with being in love. You're like, okay, that person that I'm trying to pick. And it is my guess that many of you have been deciding. I have this weird, I don't know why, I've been feeling this about my Tauruses, and I go by my feelings totally. So I feel that a lot of Tauruses right now are making very big decisions about partners they seek, about partners they want, about partners that they currently have in their life that they may be wanting to add to their lives. I think they're in that process. This energy is going to be fabulous for the Tauruses that I feel are here. And the reason that I say this is because this energy will make you critically analyze the longevity of your relationships. You're not going to be this sweet, sappy, sensitive person. You're going to be like, okay, I want this type of lifestyle. So my partner needs to make this much money to add to my income to make the equivalent of the lifestyle that I want. It could make you incredibly practical. You know, that woman is so beautiful outwardly. She's exactly what I'm looking for, but you know what? She doesn't have that great job. She doesn't have, you know, a really great personality. You know, you're not looking at the outside and using your list to analyze that perfectly healthy outward appearance in that partner. You're looking at the inside. You're looking at what they have to offer you and your lifestyle. It's very important. You're getting tweaked in this area for a reason, because you guys are uniting with people right now. And so this energy needs to be more practical in love. It doesn't, is this person going to love you for the rest of your life? Can you mentally invest in that person? This is the kind of energy that you're truly going to be feeling when this goes into, when this energy shifts. The sun on the 23rd moves into Leo. And I think that this is going to, again, I think this is just going to start and ignite that passion, that love, that pleasure, that romantic side of you. But here's the thing. During that time, you're going to be doing a lot of work in regenerating relationships, regenerating yourself, transforming the way that you used to think about partners. I mean, did you pick partners that you knew would never leave you, but that didn't meet your standard, you know? But you know what? They'll never leave me because maybe you thought that they were heavy. And so, hey, they're never going to leave you because, you know, you want to mentally invest with somebody that you know is never going to leave you. And so you lowered your standard and you picked somebody that you felt was less desirable outwardly. Or vice versa. You know, maybe you lowered your standard and thought, you know, I don't need to have that princess anymore. I can love somebody based on her insides and love that she has. You're transforming, you're regenerating your thinking. And I think this is going to be a trend this whole month for you. It's just regeneration. And it's going to be in the deepest realms of getting down to the nitty gritty about what your problems are. Why do you seek relationships that are either really easy, that'll never leave you, or that one that's that ones that's so desirable that everybody wants? I mean, what makes you need to do that? You're going to be facing those types of issues. On the 25th, that is when you're going to see Venus retrograde in Virgo, and this is where it gets down to the nitty gritty. You're going to start to look at, you know, when I fall in love, how do I usually fall in love? How do I do it? Do I go head first? Do I love these people? I immediately want to possess them, own them, and control them, and take out their shine. I mean, is that what I do in relationships? Or is my routine in relationships to help them shine, to make them flourish? If you don't, then I think Saturn is going to come in here, and it's going to be a benevolent little Saturn, and it's going to say, you know what? I'm sick of you trying to control your partners. I'm sick of you dealing, dominating and controlling and, having jealousy issues with partners. I'm going to give you a karmic relationship, a slap in the hand, and then, you know what? Maybe you'll get it this time. I think it could go two ways, or it could bring that perfect partner that just, you breathe life into each other. I'm not saying that this is going to be a relationship that works out, because I don't really think it's ever a good idea to make a big purchase when Venus is in retrograde. That's like, like if you were to buy a vacation home, not a good time. If you were to buy a boat, not a good time. If you were to buy a jet ski, not a good time. If you were to buy that sports car, not a good time. Anything that you buy for pleasure, definitely not a good time for that. But if you're buying something for practicality that's going to add a realistic thing to your life, I think it's a good time for that. I think you'll be very analytical. I think you'll be very critical about it. I think you'll be very practical in your choices. And so for you being so extravagant naturally, I think it's a great time for you to buy when you are more realistic about what you want. Do you have to have that nice car with that name brand? Or can you go buy this car over here that costs $5,000 less and lowers my payment to, $50 to $100, and it just makes my monthly living a lot better? Like, you're gonna be thinking like that, and it's actually a great time for you. On the 31st, you're gonna have a full moon in Aquarius, and for you, I want you to start thinking about your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. I want you to look at this on a large scale. Exploring spirituality right now is great. Expanding your mind is great right now. Talking with friends, expanding your social circles, networking yourself, getting yourself out there, mix and mingle with like-minded people is going to be super important moving forward. And the reason I say this is because Venus is going to go into retrograde, or Venus in retrograde is going to go back into Leo. And so for you, this is going to tweak the relationships that you seek pleasure with. It's not just going to be the relationships that you go out there and they just make you feel great. They're going to be things that expand you, that enlighten you, that get you closer to your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. It's very, very important because on the 31st, your ruling planet is going to be trining Uranus, along with Mercury and along with Jupiter. And so this is a really big area of, like, you may go out there and your ruling planet is in retrograde, but that's fine-tuning how you look at love, fine-tuning how you look at pleasure, fine-tuning how you look at creative endeavors and what types of creativity you want to share with the world, with all of us. Or if you are incredibly artistic or you're incredibly talented in some way and you're not utilizing it, it may give you an unexpected desire to either do it, or it may give you an unexpected desire to do that as a living. Like, you may just decide, I don't want to do that job, my main job anymore. You know what? I need to be creative for a living. It could give you the right people, the right network, that put you on the right path to get all of this going and get this brewing in your life. I hope that you enjoyed this reading for this month. And guys, I really, really want you to, if you experience any of those things that I was telling you about, just really go out there and get back in touch with the earth, touch it, breathe it in, walk out in nature. It's summer, well, in the northern hemisphere, and it's just such a stunning time for you to like really embrace your element. Have a wonderful July, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.